Okay. All right, we are going live. Huh. Let's see. Okay. Hi, everyone on YouTube. Hello, people. Okay. All my Insta buddies are here. Hi. How's everyone doing? All right. Mahita, I'm doing really well. Thank you so much. Hi, Angel. Okay, we are live on YouTube and Instagram on our Saturday Global Survival Guide Summit. I am just you might see I'm a little sleepy right now because I'm actually in California, and yeah, there's a story I got to tell on how I got here. But I reached California. Usually I'm and there it's about 9:30 a.m. But right now it's 6:30 for me. So I thought I should still come live because a lot have questions. You posted questions on YouTube, on Insta, so I thought we'll just do a session. It doesn't matter. All my friends know how I am, how enthusiastic I look otherwise. But yeah, today, forgive me. All right, a lot of hearts coming my way. Thank you. Hello, Mahinder. We have Akanksha, Vaibhav. Let's wait maybe a few minutes and then get started. Okay, waves all over. All right. Hello. Vineet, Sharmila, hi everybody. Ankita on YouTube. Shivam says, you are my inspiration. Thank you, Shivam. It all comes from you. The energy and the enthusiasm that I have to help students, it comes from you all. It's That's why I like to do this session, even though it's 6:30 in the morning. And I think today, every time we try to answer, I try to tell a story of how I came to the US or how I wrote my essays. But usually I'm not able to tell my stories because you guys have so many questions, which I think is my number one priority, anyways, is to answer questions on study abroad, on what to do for COVID and just global survival stuff. But if you guys allow me, today I'm gonna talk about my experience at the visa interview when I went for my student visa. So I'm gonna talk about that today a little bit because a lot of folks over the last week have asked me and my team about visas. What do we do? And especially in COVID, what's going to happen with visas. So today my focus is going to be student visas, and I will try and focus a little more on the US F1 visa because that's, I think, where most of you guys' interest lies. Uh, okay, Shivani says, please share. Yes, good. I want to know if more of you are interested in visa as well. If yes, please just type yes or give me a thumbs up like Anwar Sahil did. Okay, Chandu also. Okay, a lot of people want that. Good. Um, Vineet is also saying yes. Okay, cool. So then let's talk about visas. Before that, let's talk about how I got to California. No, I'm not going to spend too much time there. But I we got we my wife and I got we were in Boston, and we said we've been living in this one rental place for so long now. With COVID, like we were not traveling anywhere, so we said, hey, we are living in a rental place, it's not our own place, so what stops us from going somewhere else? And we decided to surrender our lease, and we drove all the way across America to the West Coast. That's like in kilometers, let's see, in kilometers, it's about 5,500 kilometers is what we drove. Um, and came here, and yeah, I just thought of spending some time here. Yes, Kalash Tiwari, I do remember you. All right. Hope everybody's staying safe. Hi everybody, a lot of you say yes. So let's talk about what happened to me when I went for my visa interview in Mumbai. This was this was back in 2013 is when I went. But then since then till now, I've gone to the US consulate about, I think, about 4 times. Because yeah, I mean, first was the F1 student visa, then the OPT came in, kicked in. I had to go in to get a stamp. Then the work visa, which I had to also extend one. So I'm going to talk to you about all of that, right? What happens with US visas? Uh, yeah, and Soumya is asking, did I get my green card? I'm in the process. I'm gonna almost I think in a few months or so, I'm gonna have my green card, Soumya. Yes. The thing about the US student visa is that you're not going to find a bunch of information in one place. When it comes to the UK and Canada, things are a little simpler. But for the US, a little fuzzy. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how things work. So the first thing I did was filled up something called the DS 160. Okay, the DS 160 is the application you fill. It's a long, hard, time consuming application, guys. It's like once you print it out, I think it's about 15 pages or something of information about you. Like, you'll be surprised, there's so much information about you uh, that you have to put on paper. So that was the first step. I filled the DS 160 and I booked an appointment in Mumbai. So I lived in Pune back then. The appointment in Mumbai. Now, the inconvenient part about booking a visa appointment is you have to book 2 separate days of appointments. Okay. And this happens only for a few countries, and India is one of them. So, the first appointment that you book is for biometrics. Okay. Where they metrics like your thumbprints, your fingerprints, and your picture, everything, right? Basically, they do an identity verification. That's essentially what happens on day one. But here's the good thing about the US consulates in India. So the first day when you go for biometrics, right, they actually they check all your documents. It doesn't happen anywhere else. It happens only in India. They look at all the documents. They see if you have kept all of your checklist in place, and your documents will of course include that grand huge DS 150 160 that you filled. And then along with that also your bank statements and anything else, financial documents, pictures, sorry, photocopies of your passport, your actual passport. They're going to check all of that. Okay. Expiry dates on the passport. I think the expiry date on your passport should be, if I'm not wrong, it should go at least for 6 months beyond the date that you are applying on. Okay, that's very important. Oh, sorry. This is for work visa. For student visas, I think your passport should even go beyond your date of the last date of your study, right? So if that's the case, you want to make sure that you renew your passport. It's very important. Passport renewal does take a little bit of time, and also it takes a lot of hoops that you have to go through, right? Sometimes they just not respond to you. I mean, it's we know how these offices work. So they'll be like, yeah, okay, we don't know where your passport is. Now you're stuck for another 20 days. So it's crazy. So I did all of that, and I went for my biometrics. So because I was in Pune, the only way I could do it was book a hotel. So I booked a hotel very close to very close to USCIS. Now, what you'll notice is that in a lot of places in India, the actual interview that you go, this is the second day of the visa. That second day, interview day, is actually at a different place altogether than the biometrics day. So make sure that you book a hotel close to the second day of your interview, and I'll tell you why. Right, so you finish your biometrics on first day. You cannot book the second appointment on the same day. It has to be at least one day ahead. So you then spend that evening just basically going around the city. Like I went around Mumbai, um, ate some good food, and then you stay close to the second appointment date so that you can rise up early, go there, have an early morning appointment and get it done with. Like, don't push it to the afternoon, because traffic increases, especially in all the four major cities in India. So go a little early. So that's what I did. I went in a little early, and they let you in even before your appointment time. Okay, so it's not like if I have a 10 a.m. appointment, then I have to go at 10 a.m. only. No, I think even if you go at 9:30, 9:45, they're just going to let you in, because it's just 15-minute slots that they give people. So I took my slot early in the morning. I think it was 9 or something. Went in. There's about 100 people in the line before you get to the window. And honestly, that at that point, if you guys reach that point, important thing is, don't talk too much to people around you. Okay, and I'll tell you why. If you are in that line at the US consulate and you are talking to people, most people there are anxious. They're worried if they're going to get the visa. So a lot of the times, and I made the mistake of talking to people, but generally I don't care about people who talk too negative. So I was okay. But a lot of you might, I don't know, right? But they'll be like, oh, मेरा भतीजा and मेरा mama went for this visa interview and they got rejected. उनका तो सब अच्छा था, like everything, the application was all good, and I don't know why they got rejected. So they're gonna talk about all of this stuff. You just ignore it, okay? You just ignore it. You know what you tell them? You tell them what's written on my t-shirt. See, you tell them, go climb a rock, all right? um, And no, there's no problem in the chat, guys. I see a lot of questions coming in. I think I want to finish this because a lot of people asked about the visa interview, and then we go to questions. Okay, so you have this line. You stay in the line. You go. Once your chance comes, that's when you're going to get a little intimidated. Okay, so they're going to pass you through this whole X-ray machine. They're going to check you and everything. It's going to be a very silent place. Like, it's eerily silent, even though there are people interviewing, right? Because everybody is tensed on whether they're going to get the visa or not. But don't be, okay? My number one feedback to all of you is, when you go for your visa interviews, the visa officer is just looking at your body language. They're looking to see if you are going to lie or not, right? They're seeing if this person is really true to what they're going to say. And a lot shows up in your body language. Okay, so when you go there with a smile. You just have to be relaxed, go there with a smile, greet that person. Okay, in a lot of I've seen this with a lot of our Indian students. Like, we don't have the habit of greeting someone. Like, if you go, you're buying a ticket at a cinema. Nowadays everybody does that on the phone. But if you're buying a ticket at the cinema or at the railway station, it's important to greet the other person. Okay, and especially at the US consulate, the Canadian consulate, they are expecting that. So you go there and you say, good morning, how are you, is everything good? And you're going to see the other person automatically calm down. They're going to feel relaxed. And this is what happens with the counselors who are behind the window, right? They are looking at so many people. Every 2 minutes, 5 minutes, there's a new person. And in India, especially, we don't have the habit of like greeting, having some small talk. So they're just used to being transactional. So when they see a student who's smiling brightly and saying, "Good morning, how are you doing?" Oh, they feel different. Trust me, that one little thing is the secret to having a good visa interview. Okay, for anything, for US, Canada, UK, you name it. Now, the way it works is the first question they asked me is, "Okay, good. You're looks like you're going to the US. Which university are you going to?" Right? That's the like, you'll be like, Why are you asking me that? Why would I not know that?" Right? But this is what I've seen and I've known before is students apply to multiple institutions, and then even though they know exactly which one they have put on their application, they might end up mentioning some other school. So if you get an admit from more than one school, but for the visa you have to apply with one admit, make sure you know what school you're going to, right? Like if you mess up that question, guys, there's no point. In 10 seconds, you're going to get rejected. Okay. So make sure that you have that question nailed down. Like sometimes a lot of students come under pressure and they know exactly where they're going. Like, oh yes, yes, I know I'm going to New Jersey Institute of Technology. But then when they're asked over there, they might say Massachusetts Institution of Technology or something. Don't do that. Don't do that, guys. Practice that very simple question. It will, all of you will get that question. I got that question and I said, yes, I'm going to Bentley University in Waltham. And then they looked at my scholarship letter. The first thing they asked me is, oh, so I see that you have 100% scholarship. Now, for folks who are getting a lot of scholarship, their questions are gonna be around that. Okay, they're gonna ignore everything most likely, and they're gonna ask you about the scholarship. So have questions ready around that. Okay, there might be simple questions like, how did you get your scholarship? That was a question I got. So okay, oh, 100%, how did you get that? And I said, yeah, I applied to 5 schools. I got rejected by 2. Like, you have to make sure that you also show that modesty, right? So I said I got rejected by 2, I got accepted by 3. Bentley gave me a scholarship because I have a good GPA. You can see it on my transcript. And I also have a gold medal in my masters. My TOEFL was good, blah 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 blah. And and they got convinced, and I even said that, yeah, I got into Yale, but I did not take Yale. And the person was like, oh, you got into Yale, but still you're going to Bentley. And I said, yes, because it's they gave me 100% scholarship. And then only one question after that, that's it. I think the counselor was convinced. The only question I got after that is, what are you going to do after you finish your studies? Okay, guys, this is the most important question after your hello, hi, and everything. Okay, they are looking for reasons why you will stay back in the US. They don't want you, because the student visa, remember, any country, the student visa is a non-immigrant visa. Okay, which means when you go as a student, you are not expected to stay there. Okay, so when you answer that question, you have to make sure that you answer the question correctly. Okay, the reason might be that you're going to come back and you're going to do something there, or you might say, yeah, I'm going to stick around and probably do a job during my OPT and come back. But you might be like 100% sure that, oh, you want to go become a citizen or whatever, but it's not in your hands, right? So don't even say that, right? Just say what you're there for. Just say that, yeah, I'm here for my student visa. I'll finish that, and if I'm allowed, I will work there for a couple of years and then come back. But then, once you're in that stage, then you might think differently and you might apply for immigration and green card and citizenship and all of that stuff. But avoid saying all of that right now, okay? Because that becomes a problem. So that's what happened. And then they were like, yeah, okay, approved, you have your visa. and I left, and then that's it, I guess. Then I had to go 3 more times for my work visa and my OPT stamps and blah blah blah. But yeah, but basically that was it. After that, every appointment is easy. Okay, it's the first time, and I wish you all of you luck. Whoever's going for the visas, like ask your questions, whatever you have, guys. Take training. Like on iSchoolConnect, we have a visa interview training tool. That's really amazing. It trains you for your body language, how to say hi, how to answer questions. So make use of that if you guys want. But okay, I'm gonna jump to a few questions now. Okay, time for questions. So please don't bombard me with more questions. I already have a lot. Okay, so let's start from the top. Okay. I hope, guys, this was helpful, by the way. Let me know, okay? If I'm talking like too much and I'm continuously yapping about my story, and that's not what you guys want, you please let me know. But I'm seeing a lot of people say this is needed. So I just kept on going, okay? Um, oh, we have some people from Pakistan too. Amazing to see you guys. I'm happy you're part of this discussion. And all the experiences I mentioned was my experience in India, but I've heard people from Pakistan whom I'm connected with that it's a very similar experience, right? Okay. Prasang is saying, please tell whether there is a way to get US citizenship before 10 years. Prasang, there are ways to get citizenship before 10 years. There are some really good and correct ways of doing so. There are some gray areas of doing so, right? So some people will be like, yeah, there are, like, they'll find these loopholes. Don't do all of that, okay? It's very important because once they find something wrong in your application, then they're going to probably even not not give it to you in 10 years. So the one way of doing it is when you get employed in the US, then you can apply for your employment based green card. Okay, and the employment based green card has multiple categories. What you want is an EB1 or an EB2 category. Okay, there's EB3, 4, I think. I don't know how many below that, but like I was on EB2. And once you go on those top categories, your green card comes much faster, right? Because you are considered a much more higher qualified individual. So your green card comes much faster, and therefore your citizenship comes much faster as well. Okay, so remember that for especially Indians, Chinese, Mexicans, Filipinos, I think those are the 4 countries where it takes literally very long. Okay, right? So unless you're in that EB1, EB2 kind of category. Okay, now look it up. You can just search online. Just put green card. Priority dates. Yes, just put green card priority dates US on Google, and you're going to see priority dates. It will say, for a lot of countries, it will say current. Current means they are taking the most current application and they're giving green cards, right? But for some countries, even for India, it's going to say like some 2010 or something. I don't even know what it is right now, but those are the dates on which like they're taking applications that were submitted in 2010 or something, right? So that date is over there, so look it up. Okay. Vaidehi is asking which courses are good for girls in US so they can get a job. Vaidehi, the US, I'm sure you're seeing right now that there's a lot of protests going on, especially on discrimination, right? So the US always vouches to be a non-discriminatory country, right? Especially when it comes to gender. Okay, gender equality is a big deal here. So no institution is going to say, no, I'm going to take this male over this female. No, they in fact want a perfect balance. Okay, so I would say don't even worry about that. Okay, in fact, girls, females actually are, they are very careful about making sure that you are given the right to education, the right to getting a good job. Okay. The only thing is, if you need a visa and everything, yeah, it becomes tough. Um, okay, let's take a couple of questions here. Okay, Chetan, can how can an Indian become a doctor in the US? So Chetan, first of all, becoming a doctor in the US is, anybody can do it. It's just one of the most expensive programs in the United States. Okay, becoming a doctor, if you have to go through your graduate degree, there's no MBBS in the US, but if you have to go through your graduation with medicine related fields, and then you have to do your doctorate, your MD, and everything, and get certified to run your practice, it's going to run you down by at least, you ready for this number? It's going to run you down by at least 3,50,000 US dollars. Okay, that's a lot of money. So that's the only thing. It's a very expensive program. Yeah. Let's take some Instagram questions, guys. Wow. So I was literally like scrolling. Yeah, I'm sure you are all seeing all the chat. I may have ignored some questions that were sent while I was talking about my visa experience. So please, if needed, just put the question again if it's really a pressing question. USA or Canada, better place for engineering? Daivam, I would honestly suggest, as of now, I think it's a better place to go, Canada, right? But if you are applying for 2021, strongly look at the United States. Okay, there's a lot happening, there's elections coming, there might be a different government, coronavirus cases might go down, a lot will happen, right? They're building coronavirus vaccines are almost in the final human trial stages. A lot will change, guys, by next year. So if you guys are applying for next year, strongly think about the US, because jobs will start coming back, right? When jobs start coming back and you graduate, ah, that's the nirvana moment. Like, that's when you want to be graduating. So think of all of those things, right? Neha. Okay, before Neha, someone has asked, Shivani has said, will there be any possibility to modify existing H1B blocking till 31st December? Shivani, I don't think there is any way. Well, but policies change all the time, right? They put a policy, they take back a policy. So if something comes, I will definitely post it on the channels, and you will of course know on your own. But sorry, I really cannot help with that right now. Desire, personal statement for PhD. Very important desire for PhD. You have to connect with the guide at the lab or at the university, right? You have to be in direct contact with the person, the professor who's going to sponsor you. Okay, and your personal statement has to be very close to what kind of research they do. Okay, it's very different from a master's or undergrad personal statement. Right there, it's not about, oh, I want to work with this professor, I want to be part of this lab, and I want to do these things. No. But for a PhD, your chances go much higher if you show that you have researched what's happening there, you have understood, you have spoken to the professors there, and you fit that gap. That's literally what your personal statement should be. Words of Neha, good idea to go to Yes, I always have a problem pronouncing that name, Aberystwyth University. It is a good idea, but MA English and English literature, right now, you're going to find difficulties getting a job there, Neha. So it's very important. If that's your final goal, to get a job, you have to wait a year. Um, US or Canada better for business or management? It depends, Palak. If you have a really good score, you have good GPAs, you have a good story that you can tell, then going to the US, definitely. Top 20 schools in the US, it doesn't matter if there's crisis, it doesn't matter if the world is burning. The top 20 schools in America are going to remain top 20. They have so much of endowment funds. They have a lot of money people will hire from there. But if your profile is a little lower, you think you may not be able to get into that top 20, then definitely Canada is an option that you guys should consider. Bogdanka, I'm a Russian girl. Wow, look at all your smileys. Yes. So just so you know, my wife is Russian too. We met during my MBA, and I haven't really spoken a lot about my personal life, but that's one fact about me. Okay, I'm switching, guys. Oh, before I could answer that question, um, so many people put more. So I don't know what to do. How do you? I think I need to ask you guys one question: is how do you answer, like, when you get 5 questions every second? How do you answer that? Oh, it's crazy. Okay, let's see. 12th mark important for entering the university? Yes. If you are applying for undergrad, then the 12th score is very important. Prem is asking, how's the situation in the US? Prem, the US is actually right now, of course, struggling a lot with all of the coronavirus cases. Just in California alone, we had 500,000 cases. 500,000. So it's a little crazier. Yeah. 70% मार्क्स वाले के कितने चांसेस है स्कॉलरशिप के? इकराफजल, आई होप आई प्रोनाउंस योर नेम राइट. आपके 70% मार्क्स है तो स्कॉलरशिप मिलने के चांसेस फिर भी है काफी ज्यादा. पर आप टॉप इंस्टीट्यूशंस में अगर अप्लाई करोगे तो आपको इतने स्कॉलरशिप्स नहीं मिलेंगे. 10 to 20% मिल सकता है. पर मेरा सजेशन है आप टॉप 30 टॉप 50 टाइप इंस्टीट्यूशंस देखिए. वहां आपको चांसेस ज्यादा है स्कॉलरशिप्स के. ओके, ऑल राइट. सो let's see, filter and answer. Neha, thank you for that suggestion. Already trying to do that, filtering a lot of questions, which also means that a lot of people are unhappy with me because I skipped their question. Guys, I'm sorry if I do that. Okay, I hope you understand. Is Los Angeles University a good one? UCLA, of course, University of California, Los Angeles. Amazing university. Academy of Art University, good or bad, located in San Francisco. Ishwar, the person who actually runs Academy of Art University in British Columbia, I know that person really well, and they do a lot in art, I must say. Like, they bring people who have been producers of like Game of Thrones and all of that. So it's a really good place. You should think about it, but it's private, so yeah, the fees might be a little higher. Going back to YouTube. Okay. Will applying for MBA as a freshman be a good decision? Atharva is asking. Yes, if it's a 2-year MBA, Atharva, and if it is not a top tier institution, right? So top tier institutions will always look for at least 2 to 3 years of minimum work experience. Does Texas A&M provide 100% scholarship, Alpha? It does, but only to 2 or 3 students a year. It does give a bunch of 60% scholarships, but it's anyways a very affordable place. So with that much scholarship, you should be able to go there. Can I get scholarship for MBA when I have 60% in 10th? And in graduation, I have more than 70. If I do it, yes. If you give your GMAT, aim for 720 plus. That's it, Harshita. Aim for 720 plus. Get some work experience. Get some get some community experience, right? Like, do 1 or 2 years of community experience, and it should work out. Shamala, wow, great way of getting my attention. What's the difference between CSE and IT according to you? Which has more scope in the US? Please answer. So it all depends on the quality of the program, right? So computer science There's no CSE, there's usually just CS, computer science, and there's IT. So there's MSIT, Masters in Computer Science, there's CSE, sorry, MS in CS. Both of them are considered to be relevant and equal. What matters is the courses that go in that program. Okay, so look at all the courses. You want to make sure that you have the best of courses, even maybe a couple of them in data science, machine learning, and AI. That's going to be the program you want to go for. Okay, guys, we're almost at time. I won't be able to do the full 1 hour today. I'm going to do this again next Saturday for sure and answer some other questions. Uh, Tips to get good score in class 10th. Oh, Samad, there's so much. Number one tip, study hard. Right. Okay. Um, is Germany university is better for management courses? No, Vignesh. Unfortunately, I must say, a lot of students who go to Germany come back. So Germany is good for engineering, especially automobile, but management not so much. um, Pursuing business analytics from US is definitely number one in terms of research and data science, machine learning, and AI. So business analytics comes close to that. But of course, even doing business analytics in India is not bad, guys. You got to also look locally, right? Yeah, it's great to have a US, UK, or a Canadian program, but sometimes in some cases, like especially someone mentioned an MA program, in those kind of cases, even going local is good, right? So I'm I want to end this by saying there's so many questions. My team is doing its best. I am trying to do my best to answer as many questions on these channels, guys. But it's my what I try to do every time is just take the previous week's questions and then summarize it. And that's what I did last time. A lot of questions were on visa, so we summarized it today on visa interviews. Maybe next time we'll do something on MBA. But the best way for you guys is if you register on iSchoolConnect and you book a free appointment with one of our counselors, they're going to answer a lot of these questions in that 20 minutes. Okay, and it's going to be a personal one-to-one. So I'm going to leave the link in the description. Do that. We are giving some of this service for free because our final goal is that a lot of you should go out and study and see what's outside of your country and get that experience, make friends across the globe. That's the whole reason iSchoolConnect exists. Okay, so make use of that. It's the letter I, schoolconnect.com, and please do that. We will answer as many questions, and I'll again come back next week and answer that question. Alpha Satan, I am sorry. I know you're asking some questions for me. I have to go. Unfortunately, I'm out of time. I have some appointments and I have to consult with students. I do that myself. So if you're applying for MBA in US and stuff, you might even take my consultation, guys. And yeah, honestly, that's what we do every day, every night. Okay, so make sure you take that. Even on my channel on Facebook, you will be able to book an appointment. So you can do that as well. I have my Global Survival Guide channel on Facebook. So take all of that. But best of luck, guys. Don't get worried because of COVID, okay? COVID will go today, then the financial crisis will come, and then you'll have a personal crisis, and then it will all keep happening. But don't let any of that put you down, okay? You have the power to change the world around you. Remember that, okay? So if you dream of being someone, if you dream of that career and you think it's out of your reach, no, it's not, okay? From my personal experience, I'm telling you, it's not. Okay, you have to go for it. You have to apply. You have to see what opportunities you can get, and then if people reject you, it's okay. But don't sit there and say, oh, mere to marks kam hai, like my marks are less, or I don't have enough score on blah and I don't have work experience. Don't say that. Go for it. Go for it. Try your level best. Then if failure comes your way, it's okay, we'll deal with it later. Okay, but that should be your second option. All right, I hope all of you have that motivation to keep going. And please, it's my job. Shivam is saying sanitizer, use it. Yes, yes, Shivam, please, yes. Another important tip, use a lot of sanitizer, okay? All right, everybody, it was amazing talking to you, and I'll see you again next week. Hope you all have a good rest of the week, okay? Bye, bye. Oh, thanks for all the hearts. Take care, bye, all. Okay, and now.